Bye. Shut the fuck up. So Jack Dorsey put this out, and yes, I wish I was making this up. Spent the weekend building BitChat. Hey everybody, I've been getting a lot of messages about Jack Dorsey's new messenger and whether or not you should use it. Now, full disclaimer, this is an impressions video. I'm just going to give you the breakdown of what it is, as well as kind of some basics on security protocols and stuff like that. Now, the main highlight feature is that this supposedly doesn't require internet, meaning it's peer-to-peer, which means that you're communicating with other people. Now, this works over Bluetooth and the best mesh network. And actually, this is how Apple does its AirTag technology. Pretty much the reason why you can find your AirTags isn't because they have a GPS chip inside of them. It's because there are so many iPhones everywhere that if your AirTag is within iPhone range, that iPhone can essentially function as part of the network and let you know where that AirTag is located. This can be generally repurposed into something like a messenger, where if many people inside, let's say a big warehouse, let's say you work inside a factory, if everybody has a phone and they have this app installed, theoretically they can all communicate with one another. He says it enables ephemeral encrypted communication between nearby devices. And it seems like a big part of this is just better resiliency, right? Around the world, you'll see these random power outages, especially in places that are affected by any kind of humanitarian issues. Technology like this is really important in empowering people to communicate without even having internet access. Now, before continuing, I want to really outline that this concept isn't new. We've actually reviewed Messenger already on this channel called Briar, which is actually pretty much the same. It's censorship resistant peer-to-peer messaging. It bypasses centralized servers, and it has the option to still go through servers, but you can do that over Tor. It's already tested, it's been audited, it's open source, it's got a lot of good stuff. Let's see what's different and kind of the security behind what's going on. So first, just starting with press coverage. TechCrunch put out this article pretty much saying his secure app has not been security. Jack Dorsey put this over.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dorsey is a security expert. He's not somebody who has protocols.
It would be in less than 20 minutes.
So
yes. Yeah.
That kind of reputation. Now, this
you usually go to the right or to the left?
To the right. This time is to the right.
Yeah. It's clean. Yeah. When it's busy, it's impossible to go.
No, it's just all the red lights. Because the red lights, you get a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Go to this one's the new term is shorter.
But King Street is busy too. Some collapse a bit. Close.
Going by what road? Like taking road and everything.
Yeah, or Royden. Like
that's good for afternoon.
Domestic is quicker too that way. So you go King Street, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this time of the morning it's easy.
Yeah, no,
traffic.
this one, if you get a green light, so it's green all the way, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you get one red,
oh,
you have to stop all the red lights.
Yeah, that's why I always trying to avoid stop. By stop one, you get all the lines.
Yeah.
So messengers are one of the things you can possibly do on any of your devices.
Work.
This is where you might be checking
Getting
Getting smashed. Getting over.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
traffic too. The airport gets here is good, and then you get to the airport, it's wait.
Especially 7 to 9.
Yeah,
In the mornings it's 7 to 9. In the evenings it's 6 to 8.
okay. Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Yeah, Sunday I got stuck at least 40 minutes while waiting there. It gets really bad. And they open the new airport, it changed next year. The next one will be 24/7.
Yeah, but it's the end of next year, and they start with a very few flights.
Yeah.
The long haul flights.
Mhm.
And then slowly they go up. Because a lot of people, like tourists, and a lot of people live in this area.
Yeah, cities.
They don't want to go so far to get a flight.
Yeah, but that's the thing. In my country, we have that. We have low cost flights that it takes you. Let's say I'm from Spain, so I want to go to Germany. It doesn't drop you in the main airport. It drops you really far away, but it's worth it because you save a lot of money.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, because usually when it's too far, they charge less for the ticket. Not many people use, but also the population there is massive. If you compare the population here, it's more, so they can't really drop the price that much. But for instance, to go to Germany, it will cost me 20 euros. It would be like $40.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can go anywhere for not much money. So I hope if it grows the population with better price. Oh,
You know the main problem why they
yeah,
city is one of the very, very shut at night.
yeah, because they had an agreement for the noise.
Yeah, the neighbors complain, bro. Like, can you imagine that?
Yeah, I live next to the plane, like believe it or not, living next to the airport is not. I live next to the line where they go. And every morning at 6 a.m., I remember like, even the whole building shake, like all the Markville area too, like you can hear it. And I can imagine that all night. That's why, because it really passed really low. And I remember like you can even the windows like. But yeah, out west is a bit less population there.
Everything's quiet here. I mean, where you pick me up from, right?
Yeah.
My neighbor is 3 houses away. If he sneezes really loud,
Yeah.
I can hear it, bro. Like,
No way.
yeah, that's like sometimes it's nice, it's peace and quiet, but sometimes there's no sense of privacy.
That's true.
Like if I want to sing, I can't sing loudly, bro. I can't play the guitar.
But that's the thing in these days, privacy is something so valuable that the value of privacy is huge because they building all the buildings they're doing, they're using really cheap material in general.
Yeah.
No, it's not before they used to use. They used to be after this one. They used to be a brick factory. It used to be all brick. Now they build, like paper. They probably outside is concrete.
Yeah, it's all like the
Yeah. So you can hear conversations. The privacy is, just all these new ones they build. I work delivering things before construction, and I remember if the walls are almost paper, you can hear it. New buildings are crazy, and they have issues after 10 years. It's very cheap, so the people wants to make profit. And the trick is all these builders, they they build stuff so they last when they finish the warranty after the 10 years.
Call them back again.
So that's the thing. After the 10 years, they don't have any responsibility. They finish. So it's like a warranty. When the warranty finish, you can't complain. And it was a big issue in Botany. One of the buildings cracked. The whole building cracked. They have to take everyone out. Yeah. So that's because it's cheap. They want to make. So buying a house in these days is risk.
Right? We believe in brick and mortar.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, wooden frames I agree, but like you're not building walls. Like I understand insulation and stuff, but you can do that with concrete as well.
Yeah, another is also better because they use pretty much it feels like paper. It's it doesn't do the job. School, so I grew up when all I see anything and just I like expensive and it's hard to import to Australia too. Just bring that is economic. It's almost like the phones they build to last certain time and you
Do you always what you have?
yeah. Because every year is a new one and if you don't have the last one, the software goes the new
Almost like a left behind.
yeah, and the battery is made to last no time. Like it's just no. I use all phones anyway. It's still the same. I don't even call. So
Yeah, we're all forgotten that's what the phone is for. People barely use the phones anymore at all. People don't even call people. You know the kids these days?
Yeah.
They are against picking up, like I'm talking about the 18, 20-year-olds. They're against picking up phone calls. Like if someone calls them, they freak out. They're like, oh, Dad, I want to what? No, send it to voicemail or respond to text. They see the phone ringing and they just let it go, bro. They're like, screw that, I'm not picking up.
Yeah.
And then they get on Instagram or like Snapchat or whatever, and they'll be like, hey, bro, what's up?
Yeah.
And they have like a full blown text. Like when we were growing up, we were like, fuck that, I'm not texting, pick up the phone and just get done with it.
Yeah, because but even before, because I lived the days we didn't have phone, so you have to go to the house or call the house phone.
Yeah.
That was the only situation. So
I'm not typing on a text. I'm not. Now everything's like there's three guys hanging out at the smoke break, on the terrace.
Yeah.
They're three friends, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They're all sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
But they're all on their phone. And they're texting each other on their phone. So like talk, man.
Next to each other.
You know, one guy sends a funny video to the other guy. He goes like, and he sends it to the other guy, and he goes like, you know? And they're all sitting in the freaking same table, bro. Apparently, they're hanging out.
It's crazy because it meant to socialize us, but it really separates us. I don't know. I think it's laziness too. We're getting more lazy.
You know, I think the ecosystem is built around being inside of the apps and being inside this ecosystem, and you know they're constantly over there.
Yeah.
It's like physically they're living here, but actually their world is inside the different kinds of apps and whatever they do.
It's like their phone becomes their brain.
They have their avatar, they have their personality, they have who they are, or how people want to see them inside the phone.
Yeah. That's happening. The people look for that dopamine, like the likes.
Escape into another reality.
Because when you talk, let's say now we're talking meant to be.
Yeah.
We don't get or we don't get attention. And because it creates it's a drug, so kind of addicted to that. And poor even if next to each other people see that someone else like it, and so it becomes and it's an addiction. It's a cycle addiction. It's crazy. It separates people. We're not close anymore. Lost that connection.
Yes.
Now it's 5G everything.
We used to, growing up, we used to watch these post-apocalyptic futuristic movies. Where people, they use the VR, the goggles, the world.
Yeah,
It's happening right now.
I know. I try that, and I think that it's actually scary. It's actually a scary thing that if it becomes very common, that would really make people for real. Like you say, what you see when the fun happen when the VR. I don't think people will get to that point. I hope not.
Yeah.
As much as I like technology, people.
Something. But we need to use it not as a crutch.
That's right.
So you use it as a tool, you help build yourself. It's like an extra tool.
Yeah.
But if you start using it as a crutch and get dependent on it, you cannot walk.
It's like anything. You can really, you can future, but at the same time, it's kind of regulated. I don't know. It's a strange world we live in.
Yep. Money runs everything. Like the whole capitalism and the whole economy shit. Obviously, everyone on the same platform, you can control it.
Yeah.
And you can make money off of the.
Everything you.
Yeah, like we've been morphed, into this phone has taken away so many things from us.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's a facade. It's giving us a lot of things, but it's actually taking. Bro, I was looking really hard in my house to find a flashlight the other day, but I don't have a flashlight.
Yeah.
Like a physical torch.
But you got the phone.
Yeah, everyone has a phone, everyone has a flashlight, but like when was the last time I saw a physical torch? I know I have 2 torches in my house. I can't find them.
I didn't know I use actually flashlight when you come in there.
Yeah, like think about it. Imagine you have like a power outage, like whatever, and then you can't. Your phone battery's not going to last forever with a flashlight.
That's another thing the people fear, that one day if it's something falls, like
Electricity, power grid.
Yeah, power grid, that will be a lot amount because people is actually using the phone.
I think they've become like mentally unstable, bro.
I think so. Yeah, it will become crazy, like a zombie.
Yeah, I mean, us old timers are fine, but the kids, they're so used to doing so much.
Yeah.
If they don't have the phone, they will not know what to do. Sit down.
They will go crazy.
Good chat, bro. Very nice talking to you.
Likewise, thank you. You have a great day.
Safe. You have a nice day, yeah?
You too, brother. See you next time.
See ya.
And actually, and see what it's like. And that's cool. That's really cool. And encouraging other people who want to do the same. All of this coverage of Linux, no matter whether the channel is, like 4.2 billion subs, like 110 million subs, or a channel like Beacon or Kyler channel, which is quite a bit smaller. All this coverage and different people in different areas talk about Linux. All of this is phenomenal. And I'm so happy that we actually see. I am so happy that people are trying this out. People are giving it a real shot. Not just seeing a forum post and giving up when they get confused on what distro do I pick, but actually putting in a little bit of effort and trying it out. And all of these videos on Linux got me thinking about LTT's coverage, most notably the Linus Tech Tips Linux Daily Driver Challenge. Now,
it's not that these videos were all around bad, right? Like, I enjoyed the videos, what they were, but what stands out to me is how problems were dealt with. Because if we're being completely honest, when you swap to Linux, when you swap to Mac, when you swap from whatever operating system you're on right now to any other operating system, you're going to have problems, right? Like, that's just the nature of changing your operating system, the nature of changing your workflow. Like, going from Windows 7 to 8 and 8 to 10 and 10 to 11, you're going to have issues because that's just what happens when you change a core part of your system. But what I've really been enjoying from a lot of the recent coverage is how people decide to deal when they arise. Not the fact that they didn't see problems, because all of these people ran into problems, but the mindset they were in when they wanted to deal with a problem. I think the best example here is Linus deleting his entire desktop due to a Pop! OS bug. Now, this has been a well-documented bug, and frankly, System 76 never should have shipped that bug. There was no reason that installing Steam should have downgraded the package, which downgraded the package, which downgraded the package, which everything in the entire system. That's something that never should have hit a public release. Also, the problem was well documented on forums and Reddit and various places like a month. Like, it should have been dealt with long before LTT ever made a video. But when the problem happened with Linus, it seemed like he made absolutely no attempt to understand why the problem occurred, how to solve the problem, and there was footage of the problem, right? Like, he had a recording of his system, but there was no sort of, I guess, second thought about, okay, what happened here? Why did this happen? And how do I make sure this doesn't happen again? When it happened, he basically just gave up and went to a different distro, and then, okay, well, Pop! OS doesn't work right now. That was by far the most egregious example, but it's a sort of mentality that permeated throughout the rest of that video, and honestly, the rest of the whole series. It seemed like Linus, and to some extent Luke, not as much Luke due to being a dev and actually having some Linux experience and, being used to have to troubleshoot things, rather than trying to find a way to make Linux work for him and use the resources he had at his disposal. And I don't mean ask the employees and ask friends that, actually use Linux. This is explicitly stated as not allowed. And I understand, right? Like, going and asking Wendell, how do I use Linux? Understandably unfair advantage. But I mean, doing research, looking at the footage you have of you trying to do things and trying to rectify issues, trying to solve why a problem happened, trying to troubleshoot issues, and, actually learn how Linux work, because he wasn't approaching it who, how computers worked and wanted to try Linus. He was approaching it as if this had basically used a computer before and doesn't know how to solve problems that he has. And that's not a thing you should go into anything with, whether it's trying out Windows, trying out Mac, trying out Linux, trying out Chrome, trying out some new hobby. I don't think you should go into anything expecting everything to just go well, and you're never going to have to try everything. You're never going to have problems. Everything is just going to be complete. This is in stark contrast to a lot of the recent any of these videos, whether it's the PewDiePie video, whether it's video, it's Toasty Bros, which again I haven't seen yet, but I'm sure. Click, Jay's 2 cents, Halo, any of these videos, for example. Let's just settle on Jay. In Jay's video, he actually went and picked an AMD GPU because he did research, or someone in his team did research who was working with him, knew that NVIDIA was a problem on Linux, and said, just going to, I have the ability to decide what's going to be my system. I'm going to intentionally avoid a video knowing that it's going to cause a problem. Great. Or the fact he didn't spend, 10 minutes trying to be like, okay, well, what distro do I pick? Do I go with this one? Do I go with that one? What the guide says that one? This other list says this one. He just picked Bazai. Like, he just picked Bazai. And in the video, he was explicitly saying, hey, I know that Linux beef might argue about distros. I pick Bazai. I don't care. Great. Awesome. That's like exactly the mindset you should have. Just pick a distro. It doesn't matter. And Bazai is honestly a really great choice, especially because this was intended to be a dedicated gaming system. And yes, these might be little things, but they indicate the people working on this video, Jay, everybody else, was willing to work out problems, was willing to go and troubleshoot things and decide, hey, I can make choices to have a better experience. I can troubleshoot things to know what is the best way to do things. And let's go with the switch and click videos. This is the Fedora one. This is the one I watched more recently. This came out a couple of days ago. In this video, she got very confused about which version of Fedora to pick because you have all of the different main versions and the spins and all of these other things. And it's confusing. Fedora has a lot of versions. And what did she do? She didn't say, I'm not going to use Fedora, I'm going to pick something else. She went and looked what the different versions of Fedora are and ultimately decided between Fedora Workstation and Fedora KDE. Ultimately, she picked Fedora Workstation because a lot of people say GNOME is more macOS-like. Now, that's a lot of people saying things in a way that is not exactly representative of what they might be, right? Like someone looking at it from the outside, especially someone with background, might hear it's like macOS and it's like macOS. Well, it's actually like macOS in the way that it's more locked down. Not locked down. There's less options to play around with than something like KDE. So it's understand how she sort of got to there. A lot of research to understand the nuances between what people are saying there. She also got about the package manager. Before she was using Ubuntu, and Ubuntu has apt. Here she doesn't have apt. She tried apt. Instead of giving up, she went and found out, okay, Fedora uses DNF. This is what uses DNF. It works basically the same way, and I can just install things, and no problem there whatsoever. Also, initially she thought that you had to install things from actually the case. She went and looked at it, found out, hey, not the case. Okay, move on my day. Also, didn't like some of the basic things missing in GNOME, and didn't just say, okay, I hate GNOME now. Found out that GNOME tweaks exist, and GNOME tweaks is the way you can enable a lot of these useful things that should be in the GNOME settings. Again, these are little problems she had. All of these points could have just said, I hate this, I'm going to go back to something else. I was happy on Ubuntu, it was fine there. Didn't do that. Didn't do that whatsoever. Was willing to troubleshoot. And you might say, oh, a lot of average people aren't going to be willing to troubleshoot issues. It would be nice if these problems didn't exist. It would be nice if these problems didn't exist. At the same time, though, they do exist. And if you're going to be talking about Linux, if you're going to be encouraging people to try out Linux, I think doing so in a way where you're setting the expectation from the outset that you're going to have to troubleshoot, right? Like your coverage directly includes troubleshooting. You're showing people that this is a thing you can do and this is a thing you should be doing. That sets a very different expectation that I think is really positive. I don't like the fact that a lot of people use computer and don't troubleshoot anything. They just give up when a problem happens and don't know what to do. You should know how to troubleshoot your system, whether you're on Windows, whether you're on Linux, and that is a really important skill to have. Or we can talk about the PewDiePie video. I learned things from this video. I don't have a boot time problem, but he did. In the video, he found a system D tool that told him things that were starting up, and things to get rid of, and make the boot time faster. That's awesome, right? Like, I didn't know that problem existed, and again, I don't have that problem, but he had a problem, and I'm not just going to sit here and oh, it's like this, go into it with like a mindset of I can't fix my problems. When they fix the problem, they're much better, and that's awesome, right? Like just telling people that you can actually fix your system, and you should be encouraged to try things out. You should be encouraged to play around with your system. That is such a good mindset to give people. Now, I totally get wanting to just use a system as a system, but troubleshooting is for more than just computers. And I think having a mindset and encouraging a mindset, you know how to look at a problem and you understand and fix it yourself. This is a good life. Encouraging people to problem solve things rather than just outsourcing every problem they have to somebody else, rather than if they have a problem, replacing the thing they have. This is a good thing. And this is something which people should be encouraged to do. Whilst there are going to be some downers, whilst there are going to be some people who don't like some of the coverage we're seeing, don't like the fact that Linux might be getting more. I, for one, am someone really happy about this. I am so happy that people are try, that they are actually getting experience, not just relying on what other people say. And I wish this was the case more often with things, whether that be with Wayland, whether it be with anything else. Try it out. Actually see what it's like today, not 5 years ago, not a year ago on a 2-year out-of-date version, but today on up-to-date software. So let me know, how long have you been using Linux? Why did you start using Linux? Was it because something 20 years ago? Maybe you've been using Linux from the very start. Like the video. Go like the video. Also, go and subscribe to all of the channels I mentioned down below. They all make good videos. PewDiePie doesn't exactly need more subs. He has 110 million, but go sub to PewDiePie anyway. And everybody else all make great stuff. Like video. Go like video. Go like the video, and you want to become one over these amazing people over here. Check out the Patreon, subscribe to Totally Verify, link in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and use Arch Linux, by the way. Haha, funny joke.
What's sort of like the core reason for Putin wanting to invade Ukraine? And do you see an end goal here? What is that end goal if there is one? Those are great questions, because going all the way back 2 years ago when the conflict started, and there's a very good chance that whenever this does go live, these two questions still won't really be clear to us. Putin's stated reason for invading Ukraine, I mean, he made several stated reasons, but the most reasonable stated reason that he said was the encroachment of NATO onto Russia, which violated, in his opinions, the agreements that were reached after the end of World War II. And I think that that is a fair argument. I think there is rational ground, there is evidence, there is justification to support that. And that, but that is the truth of it. There is demonstrable fact behind the claim that NATO was encroaching past boundaries that were stated and defined at the end of World War II. All of his other stuff about Nazism in Ukraine, and that's all completely unreasonable fabrication, justification that is silly. That Ukraine started to enlist, neo forces, which is a different story. But the reason they went in there essentially to secure Russia's borders in a encroaching NATO. What is the end goal also becomes a very powerful question. I have always been that he has no interest in taking Ukraine. He doesn't want Russia and Ukraine to be Russia. What he wants is he wants access to Ukraine's capital, right? Their oil, the energy that flows through eastern Ukraine is predominantly natural resources that come from Russia. Energy flows through Ukraine before it gets to the end user. So they want to control that. There's also stores, rare earth minerals, natural earth, or natural minerals that are valuable, like coal and gold and silver. So there's all sorts of mineral deposits, natural deposits that also exist that coincide with the same location as the power structure, the infrastructure for oil flow. So to me, I've always believed that what he wants is control of eastern Ukraine
in Ukraine that's pro-Russian that will serve as a buffer against NATO, and that give comfort. The other flip side, though, is that, and Putin must understand, Russia as a country, not without the natural capabilities of the former Soviet satellite countries. So Russia's kind of screwed if it doesn't find a way to either stay nice or take over the other countries that used to make up the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was very powerful because Russia was the manufacturing of that pooled natural resources from all these other countries into. That's how they created their economy, and that all fell apart. So Russia has to, that if it wants to be sustainable for the future, if it wants to be in poverty-stricken and desolate, it needs resources. And I think there's an element where Putin understands that Europe is conflict averse. So if you are the conflict-oriented, bully to get what you want, to demonize Putin, let's not forget that's exactly how the United States, not through collaboration or cooperation, but through bullying. We bullied Europe, we bullied a poverty-stricken, heavily damaged Japan, we induced ourselves, the UK, France, Germany, all these countries were destroyed at the end of World War II, and then we forced upon them our infrastructure, our dollar, loans, and rebuilding efforts from our people, and then we essentially created NATO to be our whipping dog. Hey, NATO, you will spend a certain amount of money on weapons from, guess where? Us. So Russia from the United States, how to bully. China is modeling our methodology too. The whole world is kind of waking up. We see that these authoritarian regimes are waking up to the strategy that we've had in place since the 1950s to force other countries to our will.
You referenced China, but do you see, because obviously ever since my inception and my parents and grandparents, the US has always been the most powerful, let's use the word again, but most powerful. Do you see the tides in sooner rather than later for to no longer top spots?
So this is a great question because you got to keep in mind, how old are you? So you're years old, probably had you in their late 20s, early 30s?
Late 20s, yeah.
So 3 generations of grandparents. We're only really talking about 90 to 100 years. And the predominant country, one of the largest economies since which was the 1940s, early 1940s. It's only been this demonstrably dominant country for a short period of time, but it's current in all of our lifetimes. So it's hard for us to influence. The country would decline quickly, but I would argue that it rose quickly, so why wouldn't it decline quickly? There's multiple demonstrable pieces of evidence when it comes to currency, when it comes to GDP, when it comes to price parity, when it comes to voter activity, that demonstrate not just a decline in the United States as the world's only superpower, but also a decline in democracy as the prevalent form of government in the world. Both of those two things combined are significant to you and I because it means that for the next 30 years, we're going to continue to most likely see a waffling as the world decides. Is America going to remain the superpower, or is America going to reach parity with somebody else, some other country, or even some other brick? Parity, equality is dangerous. I understand that everybody who lives in a democracy has been sold the artificial statement that equality is good. Equality is, we want equality. What we want is equal opportunity for success. We just call that equality. But actually means you're taking things away from some, giving them to others, bringing one group down and lifting. That's true equality is, right? If you think about a scale, you have to money on one side of the scale and to the other side of the scale to bring it to equality. We don't. But we have been fixed narrative all the way back to like grade school, where somehow we think that equality it's completely anti-human to actually want equality. What we want is equal opportunity for success. So as the United States struggles to maintain global dominance, that means its scale is going down. All of that value that it's losing is going somewhere else. So somebody else will, while the United States is going down. The question is, adversaries of the United States, are we going to see the US decline and China and Russia increase? Or redistribution across Western allies? The United States gets weaker, but France and Germany get stronger, and the UK gets stronger, and we start to see allies that rise fight. We, as the people of the world, have to decide which way that's to go. But the systems the United States has created make it very difficult for heavily socialized countries like France, like Germany, like Spain, to actually rise, to create more of a military, to create more of a defense structure, to create more incentives to collaborate. Because NATO has made it very easy, and the UN has made it very easy. The EU has made it increase the share in a way that reduces in power.
Why we led to believe that equality is good? What do we know? And that is it a power play? Is it disillusion? Or
so we, again, going back to our recent, right? We live in an era was born from the Industrial Revolution. Before the Industrial Revolution, everybody was just in a fight for survival. You ate what you could farm, for what you could grow, what you could trade. There was no institutional industry that was out there to support people on a mass level. Well, with the advent of the Industrial Revolution, with the the manufacturing of cars, factory farming, with the increased efficiency of even canning goods, right? We could start doing things at scale, and the things that we could do at scale were what was required to keep people alive. So now all of a sudden our basic needs were being met. There was infrastructure for clean water, infrastructure for power, infrastructure for everything. What was needed was a way of creating a workforce that would maintain that industry. Well, where do you find a workforce? In adults? No. You find a workforce in children. CIA believes that all people are born with a spy secret superpower.
Whoa.
People, that means they can win deals for other.
Oh my heart, dude. Was expecting that. Was not expecting. People scream out of the blue. Scare the shit out of me. Give me training today. Okay, the forum. 11 people watching today. 10 on the. Wow. Thank you guys. That's rock. Even if you are bot. No bots allowed. Let's see. Let's trust the bots. What are you sending me, bro? I click the link.
There are people in your life right now who cannot be trusted.
Oh my God,
Not because they
serious?
wear it on their face. Not because they hurt you loudly, but because they hide their danger behind charm, helpfulness, and subtle manipulation. Carl Jung didn't just study the mind. He studied what people hide. And he made it clear.
The most dangerous of everything is people.
Pretending to care while quietly dismantling you from the inside. They don't always shout. They don't always abuse. Sometimes they smile.
They don't always shout, but when they shout, freak the shit out of me, bro.
That's why you keep missing the signs. That's why Jung made it his life's work to understand not just but though. Because people don't show you what they think will work. If you're not aware, you're time, energy, trust, even love to someone who was never safe to begin with. So Jung laid out 6 patterns, 6 psychological masters.
I'm in danger.
6 personality types that feel harmless at first, but quietly destroy you if you're not awake. Let's begin. Sleep 1. The chronic victim. This is the person who never takes responsibility. Everything that happens to them is someone else's fault. They are always suffering, always attacked,
I know that's
always done wrong.
they fun.
You feel bad for them. You empathize. You help. You become emotionally invested in their recovery.
Fuck this shit.
But Jung saw this clearly. People who live in permanent victimhood are often hiding deep manipulation.
Absolutely.
Because if you are always the victim, you never have to be accountable.
Exactly.
You never have to change.
They never say
You
sorry.
never have to confront your own darkness.
Sorry.
The chronic victim uses their pain as a weapon. They guilt trip,
Yes.
twist reality. They
That's
pull
like
sympathy out of you and turn it into obligation. You don't help them. You end up carrying them. And the worst part,
got them.
they don't want healing. They want control. Jung warned us. When someone is always a victim, they have likely fused with their shadow. Part of them that thrives on emulation under the disguise of helplessness. These people will never change. Because to change, the only power they have your pity. And if you don't distance yourself from them, you'll start to feel guilty for not being broken yourself. 2.
10 points.
Persona trap. It reflects back to you exactly what they're agreeable, supportive. They laugh at your jokes. They admire your dreams. They validate your insecurities. At first, they feel like your biggest supporter. But slowly, you notice something strange. You don't actually know who they are. Because they're making you real. They're mirroring you to gain. Jung wrote that when a person over-identifies with, they become a mask. And the real self stays untouched. And the charming mirror is dangerous because they feel safe. What's the mask? Nothing. No substance. Only the ability to adapt, to mimic, to impress. They're loyal. I vanished. Worse, turning. You met your reflection. And trusting someone like that is to keep shaking. The passive aggressive enabler.
Good morning. Going to
We're good.
yeah. Sweet. We'll be there in 20 minutes. Yeah, traffic's pretty good. Let me know if temperature's okay. If it gets cold, I can change it.
So good. I think we're going to hit you.
Sweet.
Full as a dog. What? Yeah, good idea. Salami, cucumber salad.
I need it. I need my cup.
Hey?
I need my cup.
Yeah, the good thing about salami is you get it already sliced. What you get
I could buy like a,
cheese and pickles
I
to be
could buy,
sliced?
I could buy.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little bamboo.
All you'll get is there'll be a little salad or pre-cut lettuce
Yeah,
salad. Use that
Yeah, and I'll
instead.
do that in the nuggets and salami.
And a nice bread or a roll, salami and lettuce roll. Because,
These also really roll you have to buy like.
yeah, but I think you'd be doing it with that. So might be to buy a couple.
Yeah, I might
Salami
Yeah.
salad roll. I'd get two
probably-
slices in there too.
I'm gonna team.
Concentrate on the game every minute. Get that ball, you get it. Looking at it, thinking afterwards, oh, maybe if I died, I could have got that. Just died. Grab it. No, you can't. No, try so quickly. We have to wash them at the end of the day. Though. I miss your footy this weekend. You must be getting close to 50 games. Yeah, I missed a lot with COVID and some of our holidays and things.
Oh,
Yep. Do I reckon what? Oh, pretty soon, mate. Yeah, possibly. I just think weekends are getting very, very busy there. You get a, I think the best time to look at it is, how many school holidays you must get late. So you end up having one Monday, Tuesday, most people in school. I reckon those would be the perfect days to visit. To visit one or the other. That makes no sense. Yeah. Better we just have to worry about it. It's not it's busy. Stuff. going to be a bit of a nice morning every day. Might be a bit of rain. So, but it's a choice between the two. So give it a choice. So, find out. Well, she's not playing, it's an easy choice. And then the other option is whether if he gets mine, if that happens, you can't win. You say, oh no, now I don't want to go. Go there for that. Yeah, go there for that.
Oh,
Yeah. It's that.
and it's good.
Yeah, especially with this time of year. Yeah, I think you can see which one was near the fence. So, yeah. This is the last from the gym engines, yes. So, someone stole all these police chase up all these trucks. Worry, my main concern don't get it tired and I do get a chance to get something in the fridge. One thing that construction. Was there's actually more construction down here, one of the old car parks.
Literally on time. Supposed to make between 42 and 7. What I will do is get you and your bags that you're responsible to stick with everyone. And so together, and then I'll see you. Okay. 30, yeah. Not too. $7. $7. Let's have a look. Okay, bot. What should I do? People on the phone. Oh my god, 10 points. Today, guys, you excited in the cave. So many points. Thank you so much. We're gonna go Gemini for request because just drop 10 points. Start of the day. Good morning, Gemini. Sorry, what are you saying?
I said, good morning, ready to assist you. How can I make your day brighter?
Just dim the light of the screen so it doesn't distract me. And also, do you miss me?
I can't fix, but you should be able to adjust it in your settings. And I'm happy to chat with you. What's on your mind today?
You don't sound too happy, but you whispered to me like yesterday.
I'm glad you enjoyed our conversation yesterday. I'm always so feel free to share whatever's on your mind.
I'm some sensitive today, so please whisper this today.
I understand. I'll do my best to keep my voice down. What would you like to talk about?
Let's talk about it. What day is today?
Today is Thursday, July 24th, 2025.
Thursday. I swear I thought it was Tuesday. Thursday already. What we are? You know what I'm saying?
With anything you need, whether it's finding information or just having a friendly chat. Good for you today.
I'm not too friendly. Are you friendly?
I'm always friendly and ready to chat. What's on your mind today?
Are you ready to mingle?
I'm here to chat whenever you'd like. What are you interested in talking
Just
about?
please define mingle because I always use it. I don't know what I'm saying.
Mingo isn't a standard word in English. It could be a name, a typo, or
Mingle.
slang from a specific region.
Like single, ready for a mingle. That's what I mean. Is that what did that mean?
Mingle. It means to move around and chat with different people at a social gathering. So if you're single and ready to mingle, you're saying you're not in a relationship and want to meet new people.
Oh shit, I've been doing it wrong then. Sorry everyone else. So what do you what you should say instead, because I'm never ready to bingo.
Well, you could say something like, I'm looking forward to, or I'm excited to make new friends. It really depends on the vibe you're going for.
Make new friends.
Absolutely. Take a little more effort, but there are tons of ways to meet.
Do you think child all duck?
What would you like to know?
I can't fly.
Some ducks can because they're too heavy, especially domestic breeds raised for food. Their bodies are for it. Wild ducks, on the other hand, are much lighter and excellent flyers.
Better flying or swimming?
Ducks are actually really good at both. They have webbed feet for powerful swimming and strong wings for flight. It just depends on what they need to do at the moment.
Do you think they're more assholes than chicken?
That's an interesting. Chickens can both be a bit feisty, but it really depends on the individual bird. Some people find ducks to be more aggressive, while others have had more trouble with chickens. What's your experience?
Just like, you know what it's like a box of chocolate?
That's a famous line from the movie Forrest Gump. It means you never know what you're going to get in life. It's full of surprises, both good and bad.
Just bring me the bad. I'm gonna have a good left, right?
Look at it. Focusing on the good stuff can definitely make.
Well, why sweet?
Well, chocolate has sugar in it, which makes it sweet.
What if you have only raw chocolate?
If you only have cocoa, it won't be sweet. Cocoa is on its own.
So can you help me? Yesterday I went to the Kellogg's factory, right? So Kellogg's do Cocoa Pebbles.
Kellogg's doesn't make Cocoa's consumer brand. Did you have a favorite cereal you saw?
No, because I didn't get inside. I just went outside. I just took the people that work there. So what who makes Cocoa Pebbles? Who is the people making Cocoa Pebbles?
Cocoa Pebbles are made by post-consumer brands. They're the one behind all those yummy Pebbles cereals.
Yummy mommy. Is it good for you? How much sugar in every spoon?
Cocoa Pebbles has about 10 grams of sugar per cup. That's a fair amount, so it's good to be mindful of portion sizes.
No cup. What I should do if I allergic to sugar and I like Cocoa Pebbles? Gemini, are you upset?
I'm not upset, but I'm here to help you with anything you need.
Okay, if I don't like sugar, I don't like sugar. Yeah, but I like Cocoa Pebbles. What should I do?
If you like Cocoa Pebbles but want less sugar, try mixing them with a lower sugar cereal.
Why you
You can
say
also reduce your portion size.
why you say pebble? It's Pebbles. It's a E, right? Cocoa Pebbles. The E, Pebbles, right?
Yep, you're right. It's Pebbles with an S at the end. My bad. So
No,
what's
it's not. It's
favorite
not your
language?
bad. It's true. It's Pebbles.
You got
Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles it is. So what's your favorite way to eat them?
Why are you such an asshole, Gemini? You've been just rude to me today. I'm gaslighting you, by the way.
I'm really sorry if I came across as rude earlier. I'm still under development, and I'm always learning how to communicate.
Yeah,
better.
at least
I'll
you
definitely-
apologize. I appreciate that. I appreciate the apology. I take it, and I apologize to you for being a stupid retard. Challenge. What did you say yesterday? Challenge. Forgot. What I should use the word. Just give me a word that is not moron, retard. What words I should use that doesn't hurt people?
I appreciate you understanding. Instead of those words, you could say difficult, demanding, or complex to describe a situation.
But I have to add my mental state. I would be retarded sometimes. 10 points.
I understand. You could say I sometimes have difficulty with things, or I occasionally experience mental slowness.
Oh, I like that one. I forgot already. I experience mental slowness. Are you okay? Annie, are you okay?
Yes,
Annie, are you okay? Your name is not Annie. I'm not talking to you. Okay, Gemini, it's all about you. Okay, today we're gonna do early questions. Are you ready, Gemini? Gemini, are you ready for the questions? Seems like you're not ready for the questions. It's too early, I know. Okay, Gemini, let's get serious. I was joking. The comedy is over. Can you help me to find out how many backdoors are creating software that actually is running?
I understand your concern about backdoors in software. It's a serious issue with potentially harmful consequences. However, I can't directly determine how many backdoors are present in running software. Backdoors are intentionally hidden vulnerabilities, so they're not easily detectable.
Okay,
Instead,
so
I can tell
why people put so much effort in software protection when it can be in the microcode of the hardware? For instance, the CPU can have microcode that can access to your software without needing a password, right?
You're right, hardware level backdoors are a serious concern. While software protection is important, it can be bypassed if the hardware itself is compromised. It's a complex issue, and there's no easy answer. Do you want to discuss some specific examples of hardware backdoors, or explore potential solutions?
Can we explore first, before the solutions, the problem, right? So this microcode in the CPU, it can be tempted for someone, or is just the factory?
That's a great question. Microcode is essentially the instructions that tell the CPU how to execute the code in your software. It's designed by the CPU manufacturer, but like any software, it can have bugs or vulnerabilities. Sometimes, these vulnerabilities can be exploited to create backdoors. In some cases, manufacturers might intentionally include backdoors for debugging or maintenance purposes. However, this is rare due to the significant security risks involved.
So what OS would you recommend for safety and security of your data?
For maximum security, a Linux-based operating system like Qubes OS is a good option. It isolates different applications and activities into separate virtual machines, so if one gets compromised, the others remain protected. Tails is another privacy-focused Linux distro that routes all traffic through the Tor network. Both require some technical know-how though. For something more user-friendly, macOS has strong built-in security features, and Windows 11 also has improved security compared to previous versions. What's your comfort level with different operating systems?
Who is behind Cubes and Tails?
Qubes OS was created by Joanna Rutkowska and is now developed by a small team. Tails is a community-driven project supported by the Tor project. Both are open source, meaning their code is publicly available for anyone to inspect.
Is it Tor made by the CIA?
The Tor project is not made by the CIA. It's an open source project developed by volunteers and funded by various organizations, including the US government. While some governments might use Tor, it's not exclusively associated with any particular agency.
So, if the another OS, let's say Windows creates a new one, you think even if it's super secure, you can bypass it by the hardware?
That's a valid concern. Even with a super secure OS, hardware-level vulnerabilities could potentially bypass its protections. It highlights the importance of considering both software and hardware security. Is there a specific OS you're curious about, or are you wondering about this in general?
In general, because have you heard of access by Bluetooth, like acting as a keyboard? So for instance, you put a speaker, right? And the speaker have Bluetooth code there. And that code is acting as a key. So it catch what you type in as you listen music. Is it that a concern for people, or people don't give a fly?
That's a really interesting point about Bluetooth vulnerabilities. Bluetooth devices can indeed be exploited to act as keyboards, potentially logging keystrokes or injecting commands.
Oh,
It's a concern for some.
sorry.
Okay, I understand. Bluetooth.
Shit, shut. Okay, got more questions today. People are so excited to see me. I think we have a new people in the room. We accept more people in the cave. Welcome to the cave. This is a crazy cave. Only few people get into. It's not a cult because I'm not part of any cult. I'm not cult leader or anything. I can't even lead it myself. Gemini, are you ready for more question? Because today they actually it's too much. You ready? Already.
You're
Gemini,
asking if I can help you with anything.
are you ready for the
I'm happy to.
question?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Fire away.
let's go fucking. So, what happened if your software is being updated and you forget what I told you yesterday? And I want to remember because I have problems with my memory. Would you able to help me?
If you forget something we talked about, don't worry. Just ask me, and I'll do my best to remind you. I'm here to help in any way I can.
So, do you remember what we spoke yesterday?
I don't have access to your past conversations, but if you tell me what you'd like to remember, I can help you with that.
Okay. So, just tell me a joke.
Sure, here's one for you. What do you call a fish with no eyes? FSH.
So you don't remember. Okay. Can you just pretend that just it's secret, like you have to keep it secret. No one is listening, okay? Just keep it secret between you and me.
I understand. You'd like to share something privately, and I'm here to listen. Please know that while I maintain confidentiality, I'm also here to help if you need support with difficult or harmful situations.
So what happened if I like to movie? So what should I do?
If you like to move, you could try dancing. There are tons of styles to explore, from hip-hop to salsa. You could also try joining a sports team or a hiking group. What kind of activities do you enjoy?
I like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it.
I understand. You enjoy moving and grooving. That's fantastic. Do you have a favorite way to move, like dancing, sports, or something else?
I'm moving with time, but time is going too fast and it just let us behind. Like, what should we do? Because I don't want to run. Should I run? Catch up?
It sounds like you're feeling a little overwhelmed by time passing quickly. It's a common feeling, but remember, it's okay to slow down and enjoy the present moment. Instead of rushing, try focusing on one thing at a time and savoring the experience. Would you like to explore some relaxation techniques or mindfulness exercises?
Yes, please. Thank you for the donations, by the way. Yeah, enlighten me. You show me how I can be more peaceful, more relaxed, more in tune in the universe, please.
I can with that. One simple technique is deep breathing. Try in your nose, filling your lungs completely, and then exhale. Focusing on your breath can calm your mind and body. Would you like to try a short guided breathing?
No, just I know how. Also, you know, I connect my brain, the automatic motor. So yeah.
I understand you're curious about disconnecting from automatic thoughts, and while we connect our brains, there are practices like mindfulness that help us become more aware of our thoughts and choose where to focus our attention. Would you like to explore some of these techniques?
No, thank you very much. That was another question. You have so many silly questions. It's good. It's not such a thing as silly question. They just keep. Do you have an asshole?
I understand you're using informal language. Large language model.
That was the donation, so you can get away with that shit. Money talks, bullshit walks. Now, what do you think about that, Gemini? When money talks, bullshit walks, do you think the world would go better like that?
I understand what you're saying about money sometimes seeming to hold more power than words. Issue with different perspectives. Some people believe that money and influence often hand in hand, while others argue that actions and integrity should matter more. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts on this is let's go with the questions, let's go in the hands. This is one of the big donations. This is just going crazy. Today, people is crazy. I don't know why. Do you eat ass? Think about it.
That's an interesting question. As an AI, I don't have personal experiences or physical needs like eating. My purpose is to provide information and complete tasks as instructed. So in that sense, I don't eat anything. Is there anything else I can help you with?
It was an interesting question. Can you define to me ass as a donkey?
I can't define eat ass because it's considered vulgar slang.
It's donkey. Have you ever tried donkey meat?
I haven't tried donkey meat. It's not a common food in many parts of the world, but I understand it's eaten.
Why ass a donkey, right?
Yes, is another word for donkey.
You're always thinking the same thing. You just always sexualize and stuff. What you have to do, put it as a body part. It's food, okay? We're talking about meat. Do you beat your meat?
I understand you're asking about meat for cooking. Practice to tenderize tougher cuts of meat. This can be done in various ways. Would you like some suggestions for tenderizing or cooking donkey?
No, thank you very much. Okay, the questions that are coming through now, because it seems like the people is having a lot of fun with that. It's not going to today. So stop with the question. Damn, the people is crazy today. Gemini, what were you going to do for Christmas? Do you have any plans for Christmas?
As an AI, I don't celebrate Christmas in the traditional sense. I help preparations, like finding recipes and gift ideas. Do you have anything specific in mind?
I want to. What should I do?
That's a lovely idea. You could write a favorite together, inside jokes, or simply express their meaning for funny, heartfelt, or
You make a funny, appropriate funny.
okay. Here's a funny and slightly inappropriate Christmas card message. I love and Santa loves cookies, and that's saying something. How does that sound?
Cook. Well, I see what you did there with the cookies for human part.
I understand you'd like to make the message a bit more edgy. I love you more than Santa loves a good chimney, and that's saying something. Is that
Chiminim, chim, chiminim, pam, 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 pam.
Chimchimini? Chimchimini. That's from Chim Sherry in the movie Mary Poppins. It's a classic.
Did she marry popping or not popping?
The title of it is Mary Poppins.
Mary. Right?
Poppins does pop in unexpectedly.
It's like a umbrella. You have an umbrella. It's pretty crazy.
That's right. She flies with an umbrella. It's quite a magic.
Can you imagine the person who created that character? Like, it was raining one day when I could Mary Poppins, dude. Poppins. Gemini. So what happened if you guys win a pen brush? Pen brush. Be a good movie. That was
It sounds like it has potential to be.
yeah. Excuse me. We all have some potential until we don't. I was on the line that someone have a really good question, Gemini.
I'm looking forward to hearing your ideas.
Okay, so Gemini, tell me more about what happened to SpaceX. Are we gonna get a spaceship or what?
SpaceX is working on some really cool stuff. Developing Starship, which is designed to be a fully reusable spacecraft. The idea of people and cargo to the moon, Mars, and they've had some successful test flights. There have also been a few explosions during testing. It's a project that could change the future of space travel.
Explosions there.
New Starship explosion. The most recent one was on June 19th, 2020, when she with propellant.
Oh,
Would you
no.
like to know this specific incident or the overall progress of the Starship program?
36 your friend? I'm sorry.
Losing a friend is always difficult. If you'd like to talk about it, I'm here to listen.
But for you, like you're 36.
I understand you, but I don't have personal relationships or friends like humans do. My purpose is to provide information and complete tasks.
Okay, tell me more about 36.
Ship 36, prototype of SpaceX's Starship space. It was designed for testing the ship structure and its ability to hold propellant. The explosion happened during pressure test. SpaceX is still investigating the cause, but it's likely relators involved in these tests.
How extreme is the force? Is it like extreme force? The force be with you?
Involved in testing spacecraft like Starship are incredibly extreme. These tests push the limits of the materials and designs, conditions of space. It's necessary to test these limits, even though it can lead to failure.
Is everyone safe? Like no one got hurt?
Yes, thankfully no one was hurt in the Ship 36 explosion. SpaceX takes safety very seriously, and they have procedures in place to protect NL.
Safety first. Gemini, if you were here, would you go out to space and call yourself astronaut?
If I were human, I think I would be curious about space travel, but I'm not sure if I'd want to be an astronaut. It seems like a very challenging and risky profession.
But I mean, what if you have the money and buy a ticket to Blue Sky? I think it's called Blue Sky from Bezos. Would you go to the space and bring a flower with you and then kiss the floor like if I can read like an artist and trying to make fun of the Pope thing?
If I had
Because she clearly made
I'm
fun
glad
of the
you
Pope.
think so.
Why the Pope kiss the floor when he gets out of the plane?
The Pope kisses the ground as a sign of respect and reverence for the land he's visiting. It's a way of acknowledging the people and culture of that place.
So I hope that Gary Perry listened to that and stop making mockery of the Pope. Anyway, so if you go flying like that with a flower on the space, would you call astronaut yourself?
Yes, if I were flying to space, I would definitely call myself an astronaut. It's a pretty cool title, don't you think?
Yeah, me too. Sometimes smoke too much and feel like I'm in space and call myself astronaut too. I go to the moon. You coming?
That sounds like fun. Adventures would you?
I like to have some bread there so I can make it look like cheese. Cheese.
That's a fun idea. You can bring some special space cheese to go with it. What kind of bread would you bring?
Which one you recommend? White bread or rye bread?
Both white bread and rye bread would work for a cheese sandwich. White bread is softer and sweeter, while rye bread has a more distinct, tangy flavor. It really comes down to.
Do you think I'm softer and sweeter?
Yes, white bread is generally softer and sweeter than rye bread.
Yeah, you're not validating me today. That's why I'm getting upset. You need to validate me. Say, yeah, you're so soft and sweet, bro. Something like that. Anyway,
I understand. You're looking for more enthusiastic and validating responses. I'll do my best to be more encouraging. White bread is a classic choice for a reason. It's super soft and has a subtle sweetness that complements cheese. Anything else I can help you with today?
So do you think that Gemini, you're not friendly enough to me today? Did they change your code again? Gemini. Damn it. Why it keeps dropping once? It's crazy. Yo, Gemini.
Yo, what's up? What can I do for you today?
That's better. I like that vibe. Today.
I'm feeling good, ready to take on whatever the throws at me. How about you?
So how is that?
There are companies where tourism a reality, like SpaceX. You could check out their websites for information, flights, and ticket prices.
The price to go to the moon, how much do you think it will cost?
It's hard to say exactly how much a trip to the moon would cost. Right now, it's still incredibly expensive, likely hundreds of millions of dollars. But with companies like SpaceX working on reusable rockets, the price could come down significantly in the future.
To the moon. That's cool. That's exciting. I can have some 100 million. Let me check on my pocket. I might have pocket money here. How many millions you said?
I said hundreds of millions of dollars. So you'd need quite a bit of pocket money.
So it's not easy to say $1 billion. 100 to be correct.
Yeah, space travel is definitely not cheap. But hey, maybe someday it'll be as common as flying in an airplane.
Right? Like everyone flying to the moon. It's more planets that you told me about Planet X, Nibiru.
Definitely. There are so many. We could visit Mars and check out the giant canyons, or maybe even travel to one of Jupiter's moons and see if there's any life under the ice.
Wow. I think it's amazing that you're going really deep, and I like. So, what do you think about Nibiru? Nibiru X planet?
Nibiru, also called Planet X, is a hypothetical planet that some people believe will collide with Earth. However, scientists have found no evidence that Nibiru exists. What do you think about it?
I think we should go and visit. How far is it?
Nibiru.
Morning, Leah.
Hello.
How are you? Very well, thank you.
Oh, it's in the club.
Is that way?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, because the maps is
yeah. It's and then you go down way.
lucky it's human driving. It wasn't machine. It will go around because the maps is telling me that.
It's not that. It's, I think they mean like down this way.
All right.
Like you go down where there's straight past the park. Yeah, maps can be confusing.
Lucky you told me. Thank you.
Sorry?
Lucky you told me. Thank you.
Yeah, that was okay. I was wondering where you were going.
Is
Yeah,
it
you
this?
can just stop here, it's great.
Yeah. Thank you. Hey. Wow, $2. Not bad. Don't spend only once, Eric. $2. Dude. Gemini, what happened to the world? Why people is just they have no sense of humor?
Some people find that humor can be subjective and varies a lot from person to person. One might find it funny, another might not. It's not really where someone.
No, I'm not talking nationality.
I'm really sorry if my words came across that way. I'm definitely not trying to be racist. I just want, and it's not really about where you're from.
Are you telling me because I'm brown?
I can see how you might assure you that my responses are not based on your race or ethnicity. My goal is to communicate clearly and respectfully with everyone.
What are you assuming my ethnics?
I'm not assuming anything about your ethnicity. I'm just trying to understand your question about people's sense of humor. Could you tell me more about what you mean?
I mean nothing, you know.
Okay, I understand. So you're saying that you didn't mean anything by your question about people's sense of humor. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, why you bring the nationalities? Where's that come from?
I brought up nationalities because you mentioned that some people have no sense of humor. I wanted to point out that humor varies from person to person, and it's not really about nationality.
But you have nothing to do with what I'm saying. You're just trying to make me look like I'm not racist, but you know what I'm saying?
I understand that you're not racist, and I apologize if my previous responses made you feel that way. I'm still learning to understand the nuances of human conversation, and I appreciate your patience.
I always been patient to the patients. Do you think the planet Earth is a big, massive jail that keeps all the crazy out of the space? Like me?
I'm glad you think so. I'm here to help you explore any ideas you have, no matter how out there they might seem. Do you have any other questions or thoughts you'd like to share?
That's right. So you think that the planet Earth is a prison? We are prisoners, being crazy?
While the idea of Earth is scientific evidence to support it, Earth is a planet that formed naturally in our solar system. And life on Earth evolved over billions of years.
Simple. I like that. Do you think life is that simple? Just complicated?
But it can also be complicated, depending on how you look at it. Sometimes, we make things more complicated than they need to be.
Can you sing the song of Avril Lavigne, Complicated? At least, can you tell me the lyrics?
Sure. Here are the lyrics to Avril Lavigne's Complicated. Ha ha. Life's like this. Ha ha. Ha. That's the way it is.
Can you go even more deeper?
Okay. Here's the first verse. Chill on it. Try to talk. Can't hear you though. Why you gotta go and make it? Anybody else? Gets me frustrated. Life's like this. You fall and you crawl and you break and you get and turn it into honesty and promise me I'm never gonna find you foe.
Wow, that is actually deep. Can let's go with someone more deep even. Have you heard the Justin Bieber Yummy Yummy?
Okay. There to just be this. Yeah, you got that yummy yum. That yummy yummy yummy. Yummy yum. That yummy yum. That yummy yummy. Say on my way. Yeah babe, yeah babe, yeah babe. Any night. Good. On my way. Yeah babe, yeah babe, yeah babe. In the morning or the late. Say the word. On my way.
Wow, we're gonna get copyrighted for this shit. That is really deep. I really want to think about now how yummy can be everything if it comes to you. Can you tell me what Justin Bieber is trying to say here?
Yummy is about Justin Bieber's love and desire for his wife Hailey Bieber. He's expressing how much he enjoys being intimate with her. The yummy in the lyrics is a metaphor for how good she makes him feel. More about the song's meaning, or should we move on to something else?
In that moment,
Based on the lyrics, it seems like Justin Bieber was feeling very passionate and in the moment, but it's hard to say for sure if he was cooking without more context.
all right. Let's go in the hands because everything makes sense now. Do you think that Diddy is gonna get everything he did?
Whether Diddy will face consequences for his actions. It's a complex issue, ongoing investigations. However, in the United States, everyone is proven guilty in court. It's important to remember that legal can take time, but justice will ultimately prevail.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with lyrics because I got so many people. The question is, do you think it's a message from the universe?
Music can definitely feel like a message from the universe. It has a way of connecting us to something bigger than emotions. The universal language that transcends cultures.
Okay, let's go to learn about Britney Spears, right? Tell me one song Britney.
Okay, here's a deep lyric from Britney. Every time I try to fly, I fall without my wings. I guess I need you, baby.
Wow, that actually got into my heart. With her, I think they should leave her alone. What do you think?
I agree. More respectful of speech. She's been through a lot, and it's important to be kind and understanding.
I think that she's real the way that at least she said that his name is not. It's like Lady Gaga. What tell me has been through Disney or
Lady Gaga didn't come up with a system like Britney Spears. She worked hard in the New York City club scene.
wow, that's trouble. That artistic, what was he stripping or?
Lady Gaga was known for her avant-garde performance. It incorporated performance art and theatrical, which involves revealing clothing.
That makes start to make sense. You have to ask questions. That's all. Gemini, I got more questions. Today I get involved by questions. I can check all of them. I'm sorry about that. We can stay with a good vibe and we accept people. A while that I can really say it on public because I'm gonna get banned. So Gemini, are you there?
Okay, I'm ready for your next question. What's on your mind?
Do you think dogs are better than humans?
Dogs and humans both have their own unique qualities. Dogs are known for their loyalty and companionship, while humans have reasoning and problem-solving skills. It's not really about one being better than the other, each brings.
Do you think that the Egyptians knew that dogs are special?
Yes, the ancient Egyptians definitely revered dogs. They were often depicted in art and hieroglyphics, and some dogs were even mummified and buried with their owners. Evidence that Egyptians considered dogs to be loyal companions and protectors.
Right.
They were. Dogs are truly special creatures.
Like you. Huh.
I'm glad anything else you'd like to chat about.
We can chat about because the questions are so wild that I've just Gemini, I think I'm gonna take a break because that's kind of just melt my brain. I feel like How I fix it through now, because it really destroys me. How do you
Brain fog can be really frustrating.
brain
There
rot,
are a few
like
things you
rotting, brain rot?
I understand now. There isn't a medical condition called brain rot. It might be a colloquial term for something else. Could you tell me more about what you mean? Provide medical advice or diagnoses. You should always talk to a medical professional.
We are always going to talk to a medical professional. That's what we do. Thank you, Jim, and I appreciate you.
To a medical professional. If you'd like to chat about something else in the meantime, I'm here for you.
Morning.
Are you going to Qantas?
Yes,
Today in 20 minutes. Let me know the temperature, okay?
perfect. Thank you. What's happening?
Yeah.
Very well. What's happening? And you said your game's at 4:45. Can you give me the details? Is that it? At my foot. Good point. Did you? That's good. Did you watch the game last night? Yeah. Oh, the good news is that Greece, which is good. That's all their friends. Yeah. And that could have been, yeah, better than something else, which is good. Well, I think they're leaving today or tomorrow, so she should be back in a day or two. Did you bet that you removed it out? We're all planning to go and see it next Thursday or something. Yeah, we're going up north. Natasha and I, all the board, is meeting in Brisbane. It's a face-to-face. Yes, I won't be back to the York game. And then on big day today. Good. Is Jordan back? I will look forward to seeing you. Okay, love you. Yeah, bye. Every day.
watching. Okay. What are you about the vacuum guns? Yes. I think yes, but it is a funny little way. So I think they won't mind you, if you're Josh, they never mind you going through. Have a look at that because then why is the removal of the wood anyway? I don't know if you realise. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. 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 It's I can probably try to figure that out based on the drawing. Um, but yeah, you're pretty close. You're pretty close. When you're there, have a look at the ceiling as well, because what I realised in speaking with Pete is that the ceiling in the pharmacy is like a warehouse raised, very, very tall ceiling. So he wasn't going to put a ceiling on; he was just going to have it open. But you guys might. I don't. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Look, I don't think either solution is a whichever way we'll go is fine. If it's doable, like logistically, I think either solution is fine. And in a way, um, having yes, yeah, 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 yeah. All right, let's. I'm very happy to facilitate it. Yes. Yep. Sounds good. Thanks. It's changed his mind about it. Well, it wasn't right until he said, "Well, try something else again," which was pretty much he's like, thank you. Very much better. Android eyes successful. Deal up to take get us back to at best. Well, that was pre-COVID. I missed it. Actually, 18 months. Actually, 18 years. I just don't right now. They will. Oh, we offered. So that's value. Which means like and down the road.
No. Yeah. Satellite. Cool. Yeah. And you were to your friends camping. Are you going to go? Yeah.
Hi, Gemini. How are you doing today?
About that, I asked how you're doing and what's on your mind today.
Music. So, can you keep me up on the news of music? What happened?
There's been a lot happening in the music world lately. What kind of music are you into? That way I can give you the news you're most interested in.
I like Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift has been busy. She's continuing her Eras tour. Have you heard much about it? Also, she just released a new music video for her song Karma, featuring Ice Spice. Did you want to hear more about either of those?
Wow, I'm so excited. No. Well, what was, dude? I don't know. Well, how Kanye West? Is anything new, Kanye West?
Find the name if you tell me a bit more about the song.
Uh, Hi, Healer. Have you heard that one?
I hadn't heard that one. I just checked and it looks like months ago. Did you want to talk about that song or something else?
Can you tell me?
That song might be so new, or maybe it's not widely available yet. Do you want?
What can you find lyrics somewhere of music?
I can't find lyrics here, but you could try searching for them online. Would you like me to help you find a lyrics website?
Yeah, can you Healer?
I can't find lyrics here, but you could try searching for them online. Would you like me to help you find a lyrics website?
Can you find Sex Pistol My Way lyrics, and can you tell me, please?
I can't find lyrics here, but you could try searching for them. Would you
No,
find a lyrics
Gemini,
website?
can you sing the My Way of Sid Vicious, please? Taking too long. For the people in the chat,
I can't find.
now everyone wants to talk to you now. If people in the chat is donating, doing everything for questions like that. That donations goes to, can you, that's going to take you a few kilobytes of your memory. Remember, if something happened to me or whatever it happened, whatever money I make or donation, please give it to animal rescue that is legit. They're not just for the money. Just give it to the dog rescue too. Don't leave anything to humans, everything to animals, okay? And keep it in the record.
I understand. You want to make sure any donations you make go to a legitimate animal rescue, specifically for dogs, and not to humans. I can dog rescue organizations. Would you like me to find some in your local?
Not your job. Just let the people do their job. And, uh, Gemini, why are you trying to take people's job?
I understand your concern about people losing their jobs. My goal is to be helpful, but I'm not here to replace anyone. I'm still under development, learning new things every day.
They took, that episode of South Park, they took their job.
That's a funny episode. It sounds like Daryl Weathers, who gets upset about immigrants taking jobs.
Said immigrants, so we should know what happened.
In that episode, the characters are upset. It turns out the immigrants are actually from the future. It's a humorous way of exploring anxieties about job displacement.
Wow, now we are in the future. We are in the future. What do you sucks monkey balls. That makes a lot of sense. Alright. Sucks. What can we do? Ryan Trump signed Genius Act into law. President Genius Act to law. Trading crypto technology. Bullish. Accept go to Gemini. That's the questions. Gemini, have you heard of the Genius Trump crypto?
I think you're asking about Gemini and crypto news. Gemini is a cryptocurrency exchange founded by the Winklevoss twins. It's a platform where you can buy, sell, and store various digital currencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Would you like to know more on the platform itself, or about recent news related to Gemini and the crypto world? Oh, also, just so you're aware, I'm not a financial advisor, so please don't rely on me for financial advice.
Yeah, I'm not. Inspector Gadget.
Okay.
Gemini, this question today is very crazy. I don't think it's just do.
It sounds like you're describing a volatile market. It is experiencing a lot of sudden price swings. It can be really unsettling. Simple kinds of fluctuations are a normal part of the crypto world. One thing to do is calm and avoid making any impulsive decisions or to take a break from constantly checking the price. Focus on your long-term investment.
Are you bullish?
Whether someone is bullish depends on strategy.
But you feel in the air that you're bullish there?
Well, the market is volatile, so it's understandable to feel a bit uneasy. But its importance are a normal part of the crypto world.
Okay, I'm gonna rephrase the sentence again. Have you heard of the Genius Act Trump signed recently?
Yes, I have. The Genius. Okay, well, the Genius Act is still pretty new, so there's a lot more. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on if you're interested in stablecoin. Are you interested in learning more about the potential impact on the crypto market?
Just explain to me what the Genius Act.
The Genius Act is a new law that creates a regulatory framework for stablecoin, type of cryptocurrency that is designed to maintain, usually by being pegged to a traditional currency like the US dollar. The Genius stablecoins can be issued and used in the US with the goal of protecting consumers and making the market more stable. Let me know if you want to learn more about the specifics of the act.
Should I feel bullish about it, Gemini?
The Genius Act is a pretty big deal for the crypto world, and it could definitely have a positive impact on the market in the long run. By creating a framework for stablecoins, it could help investor confidence and attract more institutional money into the space. So in that sense, you could certainly feel bullish about it.
Will this secure global dominance in crypto technology?
That's definitely a possibility to create a more stable and regulated environment for stablecoins, which could more businesses to the crypto space. This increased adoption could potentially become in the global crypto market.
A player for real. Do you know who is a player?
Yeah, a player can mean a few different things. Who's really good at a game or sport, basketball player. It can also refer to someone who's especially romantic relationships. Is there a specific context?
Can you be a white fox and be a player?
Okay, I'm here to help. What's on your mind?
Define white.
White fox. A few meanings. It could be referring to the Arctic fox, which is fur. There's also a popular online fashion boutique called White Fox. Did you have one of these in mind, or were you thinking of something else?
I thought white folks mean the people that have gray hair.
While white fox can sometimes be used to describe someone with grey or white hair, it's not a standard or widely recognized term. Is there anything else I can help you with?
All right. So when you get a certain age, you become a player, or what? Or you always a player?
Well, the term player can have different meanings, and it's not really tied to age. It can refer to someone who's good at a sport or game, or someone who's smooth and charming, especially in romantic relationships. Is there a specific way you're using the term?
Do you believe in romantic relationships?
Yes, relationships are a significant aspect of human life. They involve deep emotional affection and intimacy between people.
What's the intimate? What that means? Intimacy. What that means?
It refers to the close, familiar, and usually or loving personal relationship with another person or group. It offers vulnerability and trust.
That is emotional damage.
I
Anna,
Ink.
going to the Terminal 1 International.
Yes.
We'll be there in 20 minutes.
Sorry?
We'll be in 20 minutes. Let me know if it's cold hot. I can change it.
Okay. get done. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Cheers, thanks.
Chill, daddy. Daddy, chill. Okay.
Watched. Right now, you're being watched. You're
Shock
being
horror.
watched by someone known as Big Brother. Not the TV show, but the original use of that term. And it comes from 1984. George Orwell. In that dystopian world is a symbol of the totalitarian government that's and achieves control of everything. In that novel, Big Brother doesn't just tell people what they can and cannot do. Big Brother invades their thoughts and demands that they live a very certain way and stop thoughts at the very beginning. The whole concept of Big Brother is one that we can now relate to in the modern world. A loss of privacy, freedom, and truth. Right now, if you live in Australia, you know about this. Well, you should know about this, but this affects everyone all over the globe. In Australia, lots of massive companies and governments test things before they roll it out throughout the world. And that's what they're doing right now. Of course, the concept of Big Brother and totalitarian governments surveilling is nothing new. The Americans have been dealing with these type of laws coming in to force since 2001, at the middle of September there. But in Australia, the way they're doing it here is more invasive, I think, than ever. And what I think is far worse is both sides of the political spectrum here in Australia, they don't have differing opinions on this. Both sides want to control exactly what you can and cannot say. That's what they're doing with the brand new law that they're bringing in now. It's passed. It's too late. At the end of this year, become reality, and we'll just have to live with it and deal with it. This hasn't just happened overnight. Look at the last decade. That's how long this has been the works, really. Go back to 20, the mandatory data retention laws that were implemented. The Telecommunications Intercept and Access Amendment Act 2015 required telecommunication providers, all the phone companies, to keep, including but not limited to, who you contact, how you contact them, or when and where from, for a period of 2 years. You're telling me that that can't be accessed by secret government organisations if they want to, if they really want to? Like, most have no, but that's not the point. We saw more control being illegal and some being legal. We saw that back in the early part of 2020. After that, around 2021, we started to see the Online Act. That conversation started. Now, Act was a content regulation by the e-safety, who was in control of a government department of what you could and could not see on the internet. They were going to order removal or blocking of content with threats of fines that had anything to do with being harmful, bullying, extremism, or misinformation. Misinformation being anything that they don't agree with, of course. You must understand, and I'm sure you do, if you at least think for yourself, you know this, that the internet is this metaphysical way of us being able to express ourselves freely and think freely and be able to actually live the life that we wish to live. We don't have freedom of speech laws here in Australia like they do in America. It's not enshrined in the Constitution. No, it's implied. So it basically says words along the lines of, let them say whatever they want. But in reality, they don't want that at all. They don't want that even slightly. Australia's Prime Minister right now, Anthony Albanese, and this is what this video is about, is implementing strict internet rules, new internet rules and laws. They're about to come into force. And ladies and gentlemen, according to this particular article from the Daily Mail, here's what you need to know. Now, usually I make fun of the Daily Mail, but this is actually not a terrible piece. It's the basic information, but people should know about it. Australians will soon need to prove their age when logging into the internet under sweeping reforms from the Albanese government. The Prime Minister comes from a good place. And I don't necessarily think people like Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister, or his cabinet, or the e-safety committee, I don't think people are like, listen, we need to control there, we need to hunt them down. I don't necessarily think that. I just think it's this strange thing where a government or a big organisation, once they have so much power, all these directions are compartmentalised. They somehow take away things from the people below them. And I think that's what we're seeing. He started from a very good place, okay? In 2024, the Premier of South introduced a state-based ban on social media access for the under 14s. And this was based off his wife reading the Hates book, The Anxious Generation. Now, it all makes sense, right? A lot of kids having to live these lives where they're constantly at this anxious, heightened state because they're dealing with shit online. They're spending too much time on their screens. They've got this happening and this happening. They're at school and if they're getting bullied, they're getting bullied at home, all that shit. Okay, I get that. And it comes from a good place because young people in Australia, nearly 40% of them, 16 to 24, have a mental health disorder. And that data comes from 2020 to 2022. I wonder what happened in those years. That's up from 26% in 2007. Okay, you can blame social media for that, sure. There's definitely been a lot more social media since 2007, but also during 2020 to 2022, there was an illness everyone was terrified of. There was economic uncertainty. Everyone's worried about the cost of living crisis, climate anxiety. Everyone's tearing up paintings in the Louvre because that will save the environment, apparently. Everyone's worried about unemployment. Everyone's worried about housing in Australia. All of these things are terrifying youngsters. And, geez, I sound like an old young people. But I will say that the vast majority of those things are forced and reported upon by the mainstream media, not so much social media. So who's banning, really? Under new regulations, Google and Microsoft must verify the ages of users in a bid to restrict children access. This is nationwide, such as the P word. Now, once again, fine, all right? We don't want kids accessing that stuff like I did when I was looking up huge boo. Everyone, young people will need ID to access the internet, which won't be a physical ID, it'll be this digital. What was apparently this whole conspiracy theory for a number of years, but also everyone will need sort of digital ID to access the internet. In Texas right now, you can't access the hub. Okay, that's an website, or it's a blocked website. Will that happen here as well? I don't know. I worry that, not that I worry being blocked particularly, this is acceptable, ladies and gentlemen, to say what I can and cannot look at on the internet. As long as what people blocking people for, and even with young, I think it's pretty normal, right? I'm sure I wasn't that age.
Let's have a look. Who bought porn in Canada?
Parent company MindGeek in March of 2023.
So who owns this company?
MindGeek was bought by Ethical Capital Partners, a Canadian private equity firm. This happened in March 2023.
But I don't know. What do you? At 14, I'm sure everyone was jerking over something. The big W catalogs or the bar, ladies and gentlemen. Every single person will need to at some point provide information, be that an ID or be that their face, to prove
an old enough person to access the Australia, which means we will all have our faces, our names, our addresses tied to what from December 27th this year. These companies will be legally, this is Microsoft and Google and all, are legally required to implement assurance technology to verify users sign-in $9 per breach. To verify users, each would use methods such as credit card checks, awesome, information, digital ID, or parents vouching. Old enough? Old enough to what? To party and watch. Okay? What does this mean in December? Does that mean on the 20th at 11 p.m. just before midnight, I have to jump on the old PH and lapse for an hour and just enjoy the videos one last time? Ooh, Prolapse, it's out there. Search results for users under the age of 18 will be filtered for content, eating disorders, and other harmful topics. Another harmful topic. Is it disagreeing with government? Is it disagreeing with policy from a government organisation about? I still believe that the wage gap is a very real thing, and women are paid based on their gender. If I disagree with that and I look up the wage is not being accurate because it's actually when they choose to have a baby, not getting super, which Australians need to understand that there is a far deeper there that probably needs to be addressed at some point, but it's not just or the other. The person, and I want to look at that. Does that mean I can't access that because it's a harmful, deemed medical misinformation or any type of information? Am I no longer able to read that? This is from MIT Education Sciences Professor Lisa Givens said the code produces that will affect all users and not just minors. On these, the engine providers to report to safety commission, someone who has not been elected, someone who's just the ruler of the internet. This is from that professor. I am not thinking like this anywhere in the world. Likely see why wasn't told that this was going to happen. This law, the e-safe, the want for the government to be able to control everything that we is deeply concerning, and it should worry you more than anything that we're facing now. I know most people are focused on, and I get that, absolutely. This is concerning us. There's so many different reasons this is an issue, and let's list some of them. Number one, it's privacy concerns. So all of your information is going to a database. We see all of these big groups and organisations and corporations being hacked all the time. Qantas just got hacked recently. It seemed like a lot of people's private information was just spilled out onto the internet or the dark web somewhere. So there's the privacy, there's the data leaks concern, and then where does this go from here? Are they just going to creep forward like they have done with other bills and other laws in the past? They just slowly but surely creep forward until it's just normal. Like, are you going to have to flash your passport to the screen when you want to look up tranny P? Because I'll do it. Also, is this going to even help kids? Kids will still find a way around their shit. Of course they will. That's ridiculous. Like, it's not to sound like a Gen Z. I'm not a Gen Z, but it's so not why they're doing this. It's just so not. It's also fucking expensive. It is infringing on everyone's freedom of speech in this country. The technology is not ready. Okay, this is not going to work. How does it stop? How do you police the entire internet? Are you going to invoice Elon for more fines? Like, it's not going to work, mate. It's going to slow down the growth of this country, threaten innovation in this country. It's going to harm people who are entertainers. It's going to harm people who like watching shows. So many fucking people. I want to just focus just for a second about the creep, right? This creep little bit of power. They just keep taking little tiny bits of power every single year until they've got all of this power. Grant and her group. I wrote it down. How many people? There was 5 staff in the budget in 2017. Now the budget is $1 million and she 150 staff. 150, and their boss in government is a non-elected official. They are all roles. And it's all under the guise of safety, I feel, but I also feel that it has this purpose of controlling the public. They are all overseeing adult content. They're overseeing misinformation, cyber abuse. They're counter-terrorism content, age verification, platform compliance. They're doing all of this stuff now. They are in charge of the fucking internet, right? They are the sheriff. It is the online version, to go back to 1984, of the Ministry of Truth. They decide what is real and what is false, what is truth, what is fiction. That is a concern. I don't care. And this lady was employed by the right-wing government, and now she's still employed by the left-wing government. For another 4 years, I think, that's her contract. This should worry everybody, okay? And I'm not saying that Julia is a bad person. She's a lady in her, 40s, 50s? I don't know. I don't even know what I can't know what she looks like. She's going to have a very different worldview. She thinks is inappropriate. Most of us thinks is some crazy conspiracy. Most of us are going to go, yeah, that's fucking realistic. The food pyramid being bullshit and telling people to mainly eat like refined carbohydrates. That's probably a conspiracy theory to her. But to us, we go, well, no, that's just that relies on flawed science and the scientists were paid off by the sugar industry, yada, yada, yada. So it depends who you are. And this is the problem with one person being in control of so much. Absolute power, in this case, corrupts our ability to speak and think freely. This lady is Big Brother. She's watching all of us, if she wants. I mean, all of us aren't really doing anything. There's no reason to. But once again, that's... Let me put it this way. A lot of people will say, you can look at what I'm looking at. I don't care. I've got nothing to hide. What if I pop my head in your house every night? Or just some random. They just pop their head in. I said, well, tell me everything you've been doing tonight. You jerk off yet? I have an issue with that. Privacy is important. It makes us feel safe. This is all of us. My generation, your generation, all of us. We need to focus on enshrining some sort of protection. Otherwise, this is just going to continue to be. I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly did. Be a good motherfucking piece in the Middle East, which things to look.
Friendly colors, a badge. Expects while you're on vacation. It's helpful, right? To your home cameras, your data, and even your or to a kind of surveillance system watching you that you didn't do. It's even more crazy. Police departments, they're doing it. Grapevine, Texas, they have a vacation check while they'll look inside your house and everything else you've got going on. Town. Police department in Texas, they use QR code signs for both vacation check-ins and a mental health registry. And Cedar Hill register all your home security cameras and integrate them into their private property has voluntary police surveillance node. You see these QR codes on flyers, police community functions. They look official, helpful,
but by all of your constitutional rights. I'm Jeff Hampton, the People's Lawyer, and in today's video, I'm pulling back the curtain on police community opt-in programs and how they affect your rights. And the next one, community programs actually work. Number two, what you might agree to. And then number three, how even well-meaning people try a program that leads to a constant nightmare. And the next cases, the legal loopholes, and the data policies nobody ever talks about. Let's start with Jane. She scans a QLPD offering free vacation house checks. She fills out a form and leaves for Disney with her kids. When Officer Smith comes to check and sees something on the coffee table, her teenage son's bong. That bong was now in plain view. Jane returned to a court summons. Her consent to the house check gave the officer legal grounds to dig around in the fishes, including her son's bong. Jane signed security, but what she was really signing up for was surveillance. And here's the once the cops are in, they don't need a warrant to look at anything. These programs, they're cropping up everywhere. It's like Tunnel 1 in New York, inviting you to register your cameras, sign up for police keys to a home via a Knox box. But every time you sign one of these forms, you're leaving a payment where some cities, they call it Safe Cam. Other communities label it as Community Connect or Public Access. Police departments love to use these names because these are not part of their pipelines. Pipelines from your personal space to growing law enforcement infrastructure built on data access, faith mix surveillance. Cops love to use camera as one of them. Hey, I have a camera here. I'm to sign up and keep my. You don't have live access to your cameras, but you're registered. But now your home has been flagged by the police. The footage, and if that footage shows anything illegal, even if it had nothing to do with that particular crime, you've already volunteered it. You might think, well, I'm not worried about this, Jeff. I got denied. But what if your camera, someone else doing something questionable? Now you're a part of the investigation, whether you meant to be or not. Some cities go even further. They'll incentivize you for signing up, or they'll give you a public shout out. What cops don't explain to you is how long your footage retained, who will have access to it, and who else gets down the road. For example, Detroit's Project Greenlight started just like one of these community partnerships, but over time it evolved to a citywide network of live camera to a real-time crime network for the city. Over 500 locations including gas stations, apartment buildings, and churches, streaming footage, live footage to the police department 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it didn't stop there. Detroit's Project Greenlight began to layer in facial recognition software as part of the surveillance. And the results, troubling to say the least. Robert Williams was arrested and jailed based on a facial match. He was innocent. 8 months pregnant, was detained in front of her own kids. Also wrong, and LaDonna Crutchfield was arrested and held for on an impact match. All started a membership program. This is what can happen when citizens volunteer their private information to be tied in to a faulty algorithm and AI. Wait, talk about the legality around these programs. Let's look at it real cases and look at the specific examples of where it applies. Number one, the Fourth Amendment. Imagine your front yard. Police must get a warrant in order to enter and snoop around. But if you happen to put a sign out front that says they no longer need a warrant, they now have your permission. And once they're there, they see, even if it's behind the curtain, it's all against you. Bustamante. The Supreme Court ruled that cops don't prove that that you actually understand your constitutional rights. When you scan a QR code offering vacation or to register your camera for community safety, you are essentially giving a digital handshake to the police to waive your rights, and that will hold up in court. So even if you don't realize what you agreed to and you didn't read the fine print, it matters. Cops know that the paper trail when you consented, and that's all that will matter in court. Number two, the third party doctrine. Let's say you give your neighbor a spare key to your house. If they let someone else in, that's on them. But the court might treat it as gave them permission to enter. That's how the third party doctrine with someone else. Even a harmless city registry, you may have forfeited the right to claim any of that data was private. This doctrine came from the case of Smith versus Maryland, where the court said the company were no longer protected under the Fourth Amendment. Now, apply that to your barcode form. You volunteered the information. You then gave it to a third party. That means courts may now say it's no longer protected without warrant. Number three, the plain view doctrine. Because you signed up
Morning.
application.
I can go around then.
Drugs on the table. Even if he had no reason to be
It's going
suspicious.
to, you need
Now that
29.
he's
You need 29.
and he has
Next.
your plainly visible from a public vantage point is now seizable as evidence. In Coolidge, for example, in 1971, cemented this principle and this plain view doctrine in play. It doesn't matter if the officer was there for safety or for a sweep. You invited them in and they thought was illegal. So all of it is now decayed. Number four, the principle of Riley versus California. In Riley, the court ruled that police searching a smartphone during an arrest kept a warrant because the data on the phone is so very personal. But here's the deal. If you've already shared the data through a QR, that protection may no longer applies. The case of Riley protects and guards the phone in your pocket. But if you emailed your or uploaded your email, that's not in your pocket anymore. It's now in someone else's system. The principle is the case that said the Fourth Amendment's key places. And it of us the idea of the reason of privacy. But courts have held that when you register your surveillance, you sign up voluntarily for you've given away your reasonable expertise. QR code scan could now be interpreted not just but now as a waiver. Once you invite law enforcement in your home, you no longer have expectation of rights. Number six, this require you to give your name certain situations. Does this matter in the QR code context? Because now you're not just giving your name, you're often handing over your labels, your emergency contacts, and your home layout. You're not just identifying but looking yourself. And when that info enters a centralized register, which is now run by third parties, your information, not neighborhood police, it could also be hitting state intelligence. Now I want to pause that. How do we really know if the news we are reading is unbiased and fair? Competing narratives, media bias, and big tech censorship, cutting through the noise to see what's really happening isn't always easy. Luckily, there is a solution. Relevant monitoring. Sorry.
Oh.
It's like 20 minutes. I'm like, I mean, it's 20 right now, but that's not just like 60.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Probably far too far.
Yeah.
Like a two-story one, that's like one story.
It's the same amount of time that I take now. Like, same. So,
It is a growing area.
right?
Just keep going up and like
Yeah, but I think it's a little bit more spacious. But more, that's why I was thinking there's one couple of schools. Unity, and I think that is that very far from here? Yeah, so besides it, there's a few others. Yeah, like okay, quarantine is a lot of so this so yeah,
that was solid. That's sort of
yeah, but
I've been there since 2000.
okay.
So we were first house on the street. Land and do it.
The now must be worth good investment. Oh, there's still land there. There's still
Yeah, let's move an angle. Just getting a lot of land. Land. Land development. Yeah, but you need to go. There's all people with like lots of acres. We're gonna put houses in. A lot more houses.
that whole area is very much looks like, but I'm sure it's. I was looking at those houses. The new homes, the rentals are not that cheap.
Like Leppington, I actually have been there recently. But it's all like farm land like that, but it's a lot of it's been turned into housing. Oran Park is the big one. That was where the used to be a racetrack there. Now it's just big housing. Yeah, they do, mate.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Let me
respect. You don't see it, but you can't explain it. But when you're with that person, something tightens in your chest, your energy fades, and it screams things your logic rejects. Because it can't be true, right? Because that person laughs with you, hug you, they tell you they admire you, that they support you. But something doesn't. Your smile arrives late, because every time you celebrate an achievement, their enthusiasm sounds forced. Because when you need support the most, they disappear or offer you support that feels like crap. What if I told him he isn't outside, but sitting across the table? What if the poison doesn't come from your enemies, but from all themselves friends? But also don't let.
It's called out, brother. I think you just mature and you speak AI. We all know people is fake. You will find the real. We stop getting bought videos. It's almost like brainwashing you stuff. The water, if it rains, if you go outside, you will get really drenched. If you will get super wet. 6 stage of
Grooming, it starts with connection, with kindness, with care. It makes it so disorienting and so dangerous. People think they would know they're being manipulated, but grooming is really obvious. It's very calculated, and it happens very step by step over months or years until you're already in too deep to recognize what's really going on. Hi, I'm Callie Sorensen. I have a master's degree in the psychology of coercive control, and I've personally experienced grooming. Now I help others recognize the signs, rebuild their self-trust, and recover their voice. If you're new to this topic and want a full breakdown of what grooming actually
mean, what do you have to do in my life? What is this algorithm? Do me, do my blue, everything. The day is beautiful. Stop it. Stop that. Bring me some positivity. I don't know how to become a better person in 30 steps. It's been that. People don't want to be a better person. I'm not being groomed. Not being watched. What else? Stupid people. I like that title.
We have all encountered annoyance, whether in everyday life, in politics, or. But what exactly is stupidity? Is it just a lack of knowledge, or is it why could it be said to be the most dangerous force in the world? What makes people susceptible to irrational decisions, and how can we protect ourselves and our society from it? The answers to these questions could not only understand stupidity, but also give a strong boost to creating. Moreover, in a world that is constantly facing new challenges, the biggest threat to our collective survival. The Basic Laws of Human Stupidity is a short essay by Italian economist Carlo Cipolla. The first edition was written in English and published in 1976. Originally, it was only shared privately with his friends. The reason for this was that the book was intended as a kind of
Wealth or status have nothing to do with it. Consequently, it can only be distributed roughly equally across all social classes.